we have a series on our hands with that map from EDG. Means we're definitely going to go to the distance here at Masters Tokyo. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm joined by Kakuka and Paperthin. Again, that was such a crazy map. Kakuka, half the times, I don't even think we knew what was going on, but I'm all here for it, and I'm glad that EDG brought it back.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do have a sudden name prospect for you, Yinsu. Every single time in this tournament that EDG has gone to that third map, they have lost. It was putting up a fight, okay, but, you know, let's just focus on the goods here. I think that they have evolved a lot, and maybe this is the time that they break that streak. And I think that it has to start with how well they worked on Split. I have the feeling that when Kong is on the attack, the other team feels ambushed all the time. When EDG is just going on the executes, even when they slow down the rounds, whenever they become proactive, the other teams get scared. Like, they have to react all the time. I do feel like in that second half, I was not getting the same vibe coming from HyperX.
Yeah, I agree. It was usually like it's HyperX that's really good on their attacker side on Split. That's like honestly their better side of the map, but EDG really had a good read. I think with just that little bit of extra tape, that the fact that that is a map that has actually been played by this version of HyperX here at this event gave them a little bit of extra ability to kind of understand their thought process, and then reading that deep A push towards spawn where Howdong got that triple kill, to just be ready for these moves that HyperX wants to make, show that they did their homework here.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke a little bit about what a Kong versus Jing matchup would look like. I think we've seen two different versions of it on two maps, but I also want to quickly touch on Smoggy and Forsaken, Kakuka, because they were also part of that, I guess, foursome.
And they also go in that same line, right? Like, here they're going to be playing the Jet, but also in other maps, even when Forsaken was playing the Neon before, he was also on the breach duty, let's call it like that. That Smoggy was on the previous map. So it's a head-to-head that we need to take accountability for, also because Forsaken, I think, has the same ability of Smoggy of stepping up when his their first duelist has, you know, is not finding the space that they want.
Yeah, and Paperthin, I feel like Forsaken, we're really, really familiar with what he can do, the way he can turn things around. But Smoggy, this entire tournament, just consistently winning them rounds and maps as well.
He's really, really stepped up here, kind of taking over after Life moved over to attacking Soul, and now he's really just found that groove as that second option for the duelist role, for that Jet. He's really comfortable on it. You could see that he's really just kind of at almost a similar level with Kong at times in terms of how well he can play in that position. So certainly for EDG, it is a really nice problem to have, where you have this other guy who can come in, and if you need those maps that are really popular for the second duelists, you know, especially Split, where they can come in and still pop off if maybe Kong's having a bad map or something like that, no problem.
I don't think we still haven't seen that happen.
No, I don't know if that's possible.
I've also never watched a match where I felt like all 10 players at any time could win, just them the entire round, which is kind of crazy. Anyone in a 1v1 CGRS also turning up as well. But let's move on to map 3. I know, Kakuka, you mentioned that stat about EDG not being able to win their map 3, but it's actually way more traumatic than that. Think about 100 Thieves before. Think about T1. Think about Liquid. And even HyperX, the champions. Every time they get to map 3, they take it either extremely close or into even OT and then lose. They've never seemed to be able to get over this kind of hump.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that with all of the praise that they've gotten, all that they, I think, personally feel that they have improved, maybe it's the time to know just break that. Also, Lotus is a map where yesterday HyperX did not find a single round on an entire half against Fnatic. Okay, so you know, we cut them some slack there, but also is a map that they struggle to even perform at the least, you know, even get those crazy rounds where you just get lost in the chaos. That wasn't working for them, and I'm afraid that might happen to them today against EDG again.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, they were really good on Lotus and Pacific, but again, different team, different place, different everything. So now I'm really going to keep my eyes onto Forsaken on that Cypher, assuming he's going to play it. You know, they're starting on the defender side. He has been really good in Pacific on the defender side. He sets up some really unique Cypher cages, especially on the C site, really controlling that well. But I do have big concerns. I mean, I thought after that first half of Split, I thought HyperX was going to close this out. They should be better on their attacker side, but clearly EDG is just, you know, finding another gear here. They're able to shift it ahead.
Yeah, for HyperX as well. They want to make this comeback after winning on map 1. So let's hear from Mindfreak and get his thoughts about the loss against Fnatic and this match they're playing against EDG.
think all of us performed like really bad today. Like they just outclassed us. I think obviously they're the current world champion right now, right? Since they won the lock-in, the last UCT event. So yeah, we kind of expect that they're gonna play like really structured, and then like all the utility usage is like synchronized and everything. I mean, we don't have any expectations since like we're not playing as a full team, right? So we don't expect anything, but at the same time, I just don't expect that we're getting crushed like that. So yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard.
Forsaken should have this cross though. He does. Clean with it. And now Alpha, this gets very difficult, and it becomes impossible. Forsaken is putting in serious work here for PRX.
I think EDG like playing like really well, and I feel like the first time they won against Navi, I think they gained like a lot of confidence and experience. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna try our best, and yeah, like I say, we got nothing to lose because like we're playing with not full lineup. So hopefully that coming to like champions in LA, we can play as a full lineup and we can show our true potential.
It was a tough loss, but when you kind of get dominated like that, I feel like you either have an off day or it's a little bit easier for you to mentally get over. I just wonder what they learned from that Lotus as we head into this and take a look at the Prime Gaming Agent Select. We saw the Cypher Gecko, Omen Rays, and Sky, and we're going to see it again.
Yeah, we're going to see it again, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this is the first time in the tournament where we're seeing two teams here on Lotus that play with that solo controller. None of that Viper that we love to see in some other regions. They interpret it completely different. And also, they do not go for the Killjoy, they go for the Cypher. So it's like a kind of a way of coming and compensating the lack of that extra smoke or that extra control that you would need.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who's going to come out alive on this and confirm, Paperthin, for you, whether you are the curse or not, because the loser will be eliminated. Bren and Saisho, for the last time today, over to you.
Yeah, so much on the line for both of these teams, you know. Can Edward Gaming keep that run going for China? Is it PRX as the final representatives of the Pacific region as well? That chance to gain an additional slot for champions as well. Yeah. This is their last chance as we head into map number 3. It's Lotus. There's some bad blood on this map, in particular for PRX, Josh. Most recently, the desk was alluding to it.
Definitely. 12 rounds in a row lost, but that was the other half. And I think it was Alex said afterwards in the press conference, possibly it was even a post-match interview, just said, we probably should have picked defense, right? Like we probably should have picked defense first. That's our favorite side. So now we get to see it. They will guaranteed play 12 rounds of this defensive half. Let's see how good it looks.
I will say as well, you know, based on the mirror matchup, Fnatic's particular comp, when they do play against, you know, the Cypher-based solo controller on Lotus, does tend to be a bit more favored than this. This is the potential for a bit more of an up-front fight.
Yeah, I would agree. The addition of the Prowlers in that Fade composition.
And they ruin your trip setups.
They do. Now this is a setup with 3 players from PRX looking to play a trap off the cam contact.
Yeah, there it is. Flash play over Mound. It's a hard kill to claim, though. Already Goop in the face. Chi-Chu is feeling the heat, feeling the pressure on that one. Nada his heels. Brings him down early enough. An attempt from Howdon to try and lurk himself into B to gain some ground. Forces out the paranoia, and there's a bit of a wraparound with the door opening. Mad dash over towards the A side. It's going to be some trips meeting them and waiting for them. Breaking the first layer of it. As soon as it's broken, Cage up. Buys even more space. What can Forsaken do with it? Dog claiming the one. Inside the smoke. This way, that way. Forsaken still alive and still in the action. Right in the thick of things. Going for the jumping right click, but he's brought down to his knees on top of it. Tree control going to be there as Mindfreak towards the back of the site. The Dizzy is good. Kangan could not see anything. Yet the dog still doing the most. Colliding, collapsing. That's PRX taking the site before this plant even really gets going and gets started.
So we'll ignore the fact that Kankan got a kill blinded there and just talk about what PRX did really well. Love the play. I mean, they have not had long to try and integrate the Gecko into this team, into this lineup. They've just shifted around the Jet, they've kicked the Jet out, and they've put the Gecko in. So that's allowed them to do these double flash trap plays off cam contact, and then they have Mindfreak Paranoia to clear out B. They know that everything's going to end A. Big rush, flood retake, all looks lovely.
There's a bit of a battle that's going to take place, isn't it? Disrespect being shown all the way through into A main. Flashes exchange. Mindfreak fully blinded up. Cannot see anything. Dizzy around the side. Kang. There's a chance for him to try and capitalize in the midst of all of it, but too much chaos and too much to overcome. Chichu lurks himself into the angle, but spotted out in the blink of an eye. It's over.
That's something to keep an eye on later on in the half. Shishu getting very, very deep there on his attack-sided lurk. But otherwise, PRX just going for their classic rubble control with a massive economical advantage. So EDG have tried to default towards C and run into a trap, and then tried to go over towards A. They got hit with the off-the-rip A rubble control. Now PRX, for the bonus round, their main force is towards B, where it looks like they're going to contact Paranoia push.
Shadows traveling. And there it is, Paranoia held in the hands of Mind Freak, just waiting for the right timing.
There's traps everywhere.
Let this one loose, yep. Certainly is. Boombot used by Smoggy to clear a path. Spam onto the corner. It's exactly where Jing was holding, but he held his ground. Here's a nade rebounding off to the side. A little bit too wide with that one. Doesn't catch the close corner. Nobody looking to try and fight back here. Pop flash play, but the play is caught. Already backed away for PRX.
Good control of that kind of area. Now Kankang's looking to break Cypher utility. Usually you'll see Kankang play over towards A. He likes to use his smokes to lurk up, maybe push stairs, that kind of thing. But you will see him jet lurk on this map. Seems weird, but they have Smoggy at the tip of the sphere.
Spike's still not picked up here on the attack side. Looks like they want to try and make their moves up towards B. Little door broken. Devi holding close though inside the pit. It's an off angle. Here's the reload. Seeking to strike in between the timings of it.
30 seconds
Put down though. Shut down. Nobody. And Howardong still here. On top of the map. Falling asleep at the wheel a little bit. Dizzy in his face. He's fully blinded up there. A satchel will do the job for him. Stun over the top. Wingman is a full collapse and collide of the utility. Yet the guns are what reign supreme in this round. Damage being done. Cam over the top. Forsaken. He's inside of it. Still a fight to be found. But eventually traded.
A lot of map control there for EDG, allowing them to go for that B pivot. Things getting a little scrappy, but mostly EDG onto angles early where they can fight favorably. The economy's not going to be great, though. That was a fairly expensive situation for them. You can see how much value the Gecko gets in terms of applying pressure. If PRX want to flood. So take a look at the economy here. Double Guardian out for EDG. Doesn't look great.
Again, another collapse and collide over towards A. Nobody's already pushed up past the smoke, and he's close up onto the angle. Here's the TP. Can't get the kill though. Mind Freak gets the better of him. Forsaken with the Odin meanwhile as well. He was miles away, and this is still this brawl. An engagement that's yet to be taken, but they're covering the backside angle where Haldong, he did TP a little bit prior.
Shishu, the only one left standing. And the attacking protocols for dealing with this A rubble control look sloppy from EDG. They're not coordinated, nobody way too far ahead. And Howdong late, so committed too.
You really just can't disrespect the amount of utility that they throw at the beginning. Not with a mosh pit and a nade.
No, I mean, the mosh pit in particular is so large that anybody trying to get up where nobody, you know, to help nobody, anyone in that spot is going to get massacred.
Yeah, you just have to wait out of time.
Chishu's best goal here is just to try and hold on to the weaponry.
30
Might be able to
left.
force up something around it.
Bullet sent flying, but yeah, just needs to hold on to the gun.
I don't think they'll let him. I mean, look, the net looks like it's tightening already.
Approaching and closing.
On my wire.
The shoulder spotted, Dizzy onto the angle. There's a spamper in the box. Found the target, acquired, and no rifle to be taken into the next. So 3-1, PRX. Great lead for them.
They say you lose, you learn. And I need to see EDG learning not to try and contest A rubble at the beginning of the round. Because the way in which they're playing it, it's just not coordinated enough to deal with what PRX are throwing at them.
Yeah.
And you can always retake that area of the map later on.
I think that's the best way to do it, to be honest. You let the defensive side, when they play aggressive, you let them throw their util away and you clear it a little bit later. It's typically the favored way that attackers will try to refight. It's a similar approach though. Mind Freak just holding the paranoia. Happy with the orb being picked up, I imagine, but okay, Trailblazer broken from quite far back. Giving them control towards B, already a lot of players backing away, and here it is, the later take towards A Rubble.
I like this setup. You got to remember that EDG's weaponry is not great for this round. They need a Kankan pop-off, and this is the kind of round where you might anticipate him going aggressive onto Jing, onto stairs, but no, looks like a classic B end.
And here it is, tempo increase, Paranoia right up in his face. Jing with the rocket, he lands it, there it is, attempts to transfer with the spray, but only the 1 kill found, and still Kang alive and kicking towards Heaven. Brought it down to the 1 versus 1 as CGRS in a comfortable position to close that one out, as scrappy as it got.
And Kang did what he could with the Blade Storm, found a kill, picked up a rifle, made it winnable for the team. But PRX stayed in control. A great start for them on the defensive side. Even these rounds are going to be a little difficult though. And this one comes down to a 1v1. Chishu could have played that with a little more patience. It definitely feels still frantic from EDG. But it was going to be a tough one for him to win anyway, so no major harm done. EDG though are going to start this off with C control, mount control, and it's the same play. It's the same trap setup that we saw in the pistol round, but now with even more utility available.
Kang with an op though is playing, I believe, an anti-flash position. And he's got a deep sight line on that choke point. Here it is. As soon as it's used, flash position, there's the anti. Thresh popped off, detainment on the one side, Kang. He has to try and push back this aggression. It's a cam in their face, Dizzy over the top as well. They couldn't quite claim that kill. Can they salvage it though? Damage. Definitely done in exchange as the bullets rain past.
It's almost brutish though, the way that EDG trigger out that trap play and just try and deal with it instead of baiting it out and falling back. Settles into a 4v4 scenario.
Scout destroyed.
Oh, the Trailblazer broken there right before it got to either of the trips. Forsaken defending his territory.
Look at how brutal the Odin is as well in scenarios like this. I mean, spam onto the corners. Look at the draw with that. Rural Theft going to be giving a lot of very good information now, in case it wasn't obvious enough here. Mindfree's going to be able to hear all these footsteps. Now he sees them all lit up. Still pulls out Util. Expecting the second player for whatever reason, but cleared up and cleaned up, down to nobody. It's a 1v3. Wingman going right past. He's not doing the job adequately enough, is he? It's
10 seconds
created
left.
a bit of a timing, but not a lot of time on the clock here. 7 seconds remaining. Plant now has to be stuck. Forsaken realizes it, faces it, and he's won the round for his team just off of that.
Good stuff. Nobody getting the spike down as well for those extra credits. But having said that, disastrous for EDG. Timeout being called here as they reassess what to do. But it feels like this game, this Cinderella run, slipping through their fingers currently. PRX, they look coordinated, and on this side of the map, on the defense side, the Gecko not looking like a detriment whatsoever compared to their normal composition, which is a mirror of what EDG likes to play. Everywhere you go on the map, you're either meeting a trap setup with the Gecko and Sky utility, or Forsaken's there with an Odin and trips.
Yeah, the Odin pickup is a good one. Gleaming something maybe from their match against Fnatic, but just adds so much extra firepower, quite literally. But you know, in terms of the amount of angles you can lock down, if you're trying to play for the C hit as well, if there's one player with an Odin playing from heaven, they can just deny it from that spot. It's really, really brutal to work through, and EDG left really scattered and looking for answers in this timeout here. 5-1 is the scoreline when it comes to the rounds. Got to find a way back into this one.
It's a tough spot for EDG because on one hand, you say to yourself, well, they're massively behind right now. This is really devastating for them. On the other, you think, well, PRX's attack looked like it had nothing behind it. They got 12-0'd by Fnatic. Maybe they can make any level of comeback. But I think at that point, the mental might have done its dirty work. Because EDG are a team without too much experience. They've been going on a great run right now, but prior to this, they had no match victories at a global event. So this is new territory for them.
Paving the way, seeing how far they can really go. It would be a testament to it. I mean, EDG have managed comebacks in the past, at least at Masters Tokyo. They brought maps close. They have been able to rally back. Here we go, an attempt though into the C site. Now let's see what happens here. As I was saying prior, Forsaken with the Odin. If he's not cleared out of this spot, he is going to rip them to shreds. The cap still not dealt with. Onto the corner, spams it out with the corner. Him and Divide playing together with the trips, lighting up these players. There it is, an attempt to try and get the plant off. And all it takes is a few more bullets to get the job done here. Kang eventually taking the fight right to them. Pushing through past the smoke into their spawn now. So duelist players. A lot to do here, but not anticipating that an angle was already gained and his Mind Freak from the high position. Heaven locking it down, shutting it down. No danger.
EDG just falling into every trap that PRX have littered around the map for them. We've seen PRX getting value out of the flash plays, the tripwires, everything. And now Forsaken with his Odin. The Odin is so good, it melts even through the rock that you would expect to provide a safe plant position for you. No, you're not allowed to plant there. Very difficult to find a safe place to play.
Yeah,
but EDG have rifles now. No ults, apart from the Blade Storm, which just equalizes the economy a little. But they do have weaponry. Oh, I'm worried though, Brand, because this looks like they're just going to opt into the A fight again.
It's another skirmish over towards A Rubble. If what we've seen before, EDG should not be favoured. They're not going to wait out this Utilade. Here it is. They just want to take the fight to them. TP across over towards the side. Kang fully blinded up. Paranoid this way and that way. It's just running straight into the smoke. Disrespect showcased. CGRS removing him. Just giving a hop over towards that high ground angle. Wingman and the Boombot being used in conjunction. Lurk timing here for Chichu. Bullet to the head, right through the wall, sets him up for the kill onto Forsaken, and now he's lurked himself into a 4 position. Maybe he can make something of this.
They know that they control a lot of the map. Nobody is going to get Seekers online with the plant here. So they could make some kind of play off that. In a player disadvantaged position like this, though, the Seekers may end up giving away the specific spots that EDG are playing in. They're going to have to use them early.
Here it is. Off the rip as soon as they're earned.
Oh,
One of the Seekers is going main to mount. That's going to be giving false information.
Unlucky.
How has that worked out? Maybe towards that rotating door. The wide face, wide swing adjustments necessary with the aim, and nobody. He's found 3 in a round, 2 off the back of that. 8 HP though. Backs away. Trailblazer still available for him, but does he want to give away his positioning? CGRS hot on the trail. Looking for the kill, seeking it out. Spam onto the corner here. It's all about the timing. And how does this fight get taken? Nobody can hear it. Tap onto it, finds it and isolates it. 4 kills for nobody. And he earns them a round, a necessary one at that.
We know what we're doing.
In the first 20 seconds, it looked like EDG had tossed that away. An eco swing round where they opt into the A Rubble disaster. And yet, it's nobody that gets the kills, it's Chishu that actually opens up the map. His lurk onto Forsaken opens up that pivot towards C and allows nobody to finish things. Working in tandem to pull that back from the brink. Provide a lifeline. Kang, attack operator, over towards A.
Seeking to do some damage here, but PRX not willing to give away. Control of Mound towards C. The early line of side angle grabbed up with the dog to supplement.
And the areas of the map that you lose early on, EDG need to be saving the Trailblazer or something like that in order to re-clear. And at the moment, nobody's the furthest player ahead on A with Spike in hand.
Deep cam on Rubble.
Taken out.
Yeah, it spots at least 2 of the players there, so Forsaken's going to get the read. A main is compromised. Ops on ops, really, set up on either side.
They just aren't pushing Devi off this angle.
Oh, Devi. Oh my! Reactions. Swift with it. Kang seeks to equalize and answer back. He's dashed in with the operator, wants to lead the charge with his team. Not scared, is he? Forsaken, though. Ring around the rosy. He's tripping his face, yet doesn't have the weapon for the job, really. He ends up falling.
What is happening here?
Yeah, it's a little bit insane. Kang's already up into heaven. Device just out-opt him. Words I never thought I'd be uttering, but here we are. Needing a flash to maybe set up another angle forwards, but already all the positions in the post plant being shorn away here from the EDG players. They've got to try and hold on to at least some semblance of it. Spam into the cage. You've got to know the tree is compromised. It is. It's traded. Nobody answered. The kills going one for another. Chichu holding onto the high ground angle here. Tap onto the spike. He has no way to push them off of this. Divide can stick it to half. Silently dropping down. There's no way at all to win the round. So HyperX is winning by default.
EDG are getting very desperate. Despite all players falling for HyperX there, the game plan was madness. And Haodong's gone from having a perfect understanding of the game, looking like he's positioned immaculately in top fragging, to be in 1 and 9 as his team scrambles. I mean, Kangkang's up there with an operator entry go. You know, it makes no sense right from the beginning. And they're not using the Sky utility to re-clear. I feel like the game plan's gone to pot. The pressure has got to EDG.
My eyes are down.
Dragged into the pandemonium that HyperX love to create.
And isn't that a common statement whenever we talk about HyperX?
Always the danger. Always the danger. Pure disrespect. Pushed up close here. Seeker's now, again, paving the way onto the side. Paranoia is exchanged on either side here. Mindfreak seeking to at least still hold on to control of this double door, but yeah, Smoggy from the side around the back. This is Forsaken now. Guardian in hand. Showstopper. Misses. Damage being done here onto the high ground angle. Neurotheft given a bit of space and still need to find a few more of these kills. It's all over the place. Spray transfer. Judge in his face. Jing is brought down. CGRS. It's the only one left in a 1v3.
And EDG proving in this round that they can lean into the chaos as well.
Yeah, that's a 0.25 jobber.
That is a ridiculous round. Smoggy picking up 3 with the Judge.
Yeah.
And holding Heaven now too.
Try and break that one down. I dare you. Well, tag with the camp. Know where CGRS is. Player weak for Smoggy holding close to the Judge. CGRS not with enough money to buy into the next one. The save is the only play really to make.
Smoggy's got a Judge. His peaks aren't really that dangerous.
He's picked up the rifle though now and starting to vacate and get out of there.
But I'll tell you what, a great adjustment from EDG in terms of finding one specific spot on the map that they felt like they could abuse. And that was in Tree. They blast pack Smoggy around as they put pressure on the other side, opening the door, something like that. And here it is. The pressure on Mindfreak. This is where HyperX have been anchoring a player towards A lot. And so, after multiple failed attempts towards this side of the map, they came up with a creative plan to try and punish it. It looked very desperate the previous round. And yet, maybe just a learning moment. There is still a chance for EDG to recover this half. Although, it would rely on them getting the last 2. And even then,
we'll see though. This round coming up, HyperX, the economy is taking a bit of a tumble, so got an advantage to EDG.
One of the things I really liked that EDG were doing previously that I haven't seen too much is Kangkang being able to establish himself over towards A and get this like lurking jet working on that side of the map.
There's an attempt. Swing with a dizzy. Mindfreak will pay for it, so they give up first section of A. Rubble control changing hands.
And this is one of the first times where they've actually used the Trailblazer to re-clear a contested area of the map and post Kangkang up. This round, of course, they have massive gun advantage too.
Information gathered. Surrounded, but they got a note of Forsaken's alone on this side. Paranoia through. Some danger in it, but instead they decide to take their sights over towards B. Up into Heaven, they can hear the footsteps. CGRS, he had the rifle, didn't he? Yeah, not going to be having that one. Moving it away. Satchel to set up the fight. Jing was able to retrieve the rifle, does claim that kill. Another fight to be taken on the flank. Forsaken doesn't want to opt into it still. Fighting for the extremities and the connector control. Haodong, he wins his out. Jing, only 61 health. How much can he really do? The answer, not quite a lot. Forsaken, spotted out, brought down. 7-4, one more round for EDG. This has been brought back, honestly. It was a string of rounds early on by HyperX, as you can see on the timeline below, but EDG are on the verge of really making the most of it.
And Coach Alex calling one of their timeouts just for the final round of the half. Shows you how important HyperX think this one is. Despite the excellent run that they went on, they were up 7-2. They want to make sure that they end this at 8-4 instead of letting it slip to a 2-round deficit for their opponents. And I think the idea, the game plans for PRX are still working. It's just that EDG have adapted to it by trying to re-clear some of the spots. They've lent a little more heavily towards A. That's where we've seen the victories in round 10 and 11. And part of the reason that PRX are even in this spot is because some of the previous rounds were taken down to 1v1s, 2v2s, taken so close that PRX's economy was harmed, enough so that when EDG won round 10, PRX thrown right back down onto an eco. I don't think it's a rough spot to be in though, for either team, you could argue, as PRX transition into what should be a weaker half for them.
The stakes are heightened here. Final round matters a lot, as you said, Josh. Based on the importance of timeout being taken for this last round, you can see just how important it is. But yeah, Pacific versus China here in this matchup. Elimination game, map 3. It's all on the line for the continuation of their tournament lives here at Masters Tokyo. Let's see the beginning. Odin Spam onto this corner. Does a lot to try and push back some of that early A aggression. Kang with the op, the shot just going wide.
He knows there's a cam around here. He's trying to bait it out.
Pushed all the way up. A lot of disrespect shown. Here's a fight to be taken. CGRS is alone when this is happening. Paranoia. Someone at his back. One of the teammates, at least Jing, trying to help him out. Nade could be used to try and push them back in a way. It looks like it was.
And the cam was broken too. So EDG may well have accomplished their goals over towards Mound. With the cam broken, now Forsaken's going to call for help. Forsaken and Jing defending C. They need to push these A players away. It's been so important for EDG.
I think the overall game plan here by EDG was good in this round with the calling, like you said, Josh. So got the cam, but the Trailblazer, there was nothing else behind that. It was broken before they could even get into position. And now the Paranoia gets let rip just off the back of that one flash, pushes away any sense of aggression and taking back that space.
But the flash and the Paranoia being used means that EDG know there's 2 players there.
Whoa, it's getting strained. It's getting dangerous here. Crossfire set up towards Heaven and the connector. It's a B plant. Not shying away from it now. Door starting to get rotated and maybe played towards as well. Kang low enough here, holding all these angles. CGRS definitely weak enough on top of it. They've left, given up control of main. Jing wins his fight out towards the connector. It's brought the ult back online. Do they know that the players are in Heaven? They do indeed. Savai claims that kill out in the open. Where is Haodong left remaining? It's Wingman with a defuse, sticking it through. That's 8-4 in the half of PRX.
Awesome half from them, causing chaos and injecting it straight into the EDG game plan. EDG, their bread and butter, has been trying to control aggression from other teams, and yet PRX are making it far too difficult. This version of EDG looks so much more scattered, uncoordinated, and sloppy compared to what we've seen from them in the past. But I don't think it's all just nerves. It's not all just the moment. It's forced pressure from how PRX likes to play. We've seen so many other teams go to pot when they play against this squad.
Absolutely. I mean, yet to still see. It could go either way, really. Let's send it down to the desk to break it down so far.
Thank you very much, guys. What a great finish there from PRX. And Kuku, I gotta say, we highlight the duelist players, but the utility uses from CGRS, beautiful.
I think that we heard it the other day, the fact that he's been doing some of the calling for some rounds. I can see him calling in this Lotus because the utility usage, all the Dizzies, all the Carnalitos that we're seeing, those Wingmans, all of them have a lot of effort on the map. We're seeing it with ultimates, we're seeing it all over, and we can see that sometimes he takes the upper hand and is not only supportive in the way I follow you, you follow me with what I'm bringing to the map. So this doesn't feel like a wounded PRX.
He's been crazy impactful. I mean, CGRS has stepped up. He's getting better and better and better every single game, getting more and more comfortable, and you can see why. You know, Alex said we just told him to just play nothing but Gecko, and it's finally starting to pay off. It's all over the place, and EDG is completely in shambles. And I love the way that Sideshow talked about it. It's just when you play against PRX, they drag you down to their level.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of crazy rounds as well. I think that, you know, EDG, they managed to bring it back a little bit, but I think that the pressure that they were applying on the map, knowing that you have Forsaken on that C side, and the pressure that they were applying onto A, in many situations, we saw an EDG that was like, we're not sure about this, we're not sure about that, we're not being as lucky as we were before, just pushing through smokes and doing those crazy things. There was a round where Smokey just grabbed the judge and started satchelating and jumping and killing people, but that should not be the case anymore.
EDG, they have to get over their map 3 demons if they want to continue this dream run here in the lower bracket on Masters. Tokyo, Brennan, Sideshow, I can't even think of a world where this is the last time we're going to see EDG.
It's a heartbreaker, but certainly a reality we could be living in here. I mean, dreams are going to be broken on either side. Mentioning it, you know, the last chance for the Pacific region as their representatives of PRX, and also for EDG. You know, they've gone from strength to strength, all their goals being met throughout this event. The first win for China, the top 8 finish.
For PRX, they now just have to avoid getting dominated on their attack side. They lost 12 rounds out of 12 to Fnatic, but EDG are not Fnatic. EDG are not the defending winners of the most recent global tournament.
It's still already being expended here. There was a paranoia in the hands of Haodong. Wingman going for the plan, wide out into the open. Kang flash in his face, can't seem to deny it. Still wants to take the fight though, Divide is happy for it. With the ghost in his hands, should be set up for the win, but that timing is just so damn unfortunate. Inside the smokes, and everybody's grouped up towards Tree. 3 players left there, Dizzy in their faces, flashes, everybody blind, running and gunning with the frenzy, reloading the clip, and right behind you. Jing did not hear it, the rotation of the door, not expecting it.
Just getting lost in the chaos there. And EDG pick up a pistol that may end up being absolutely pivotal. Keep an eye on the potential for a comeback happening here. With the pistol, this should be going back up to 8-6. We've seen some shenanigans though. But PRX have got to fix their issues that cropped up last time they played this map.
Yeah.
And definitely the Gecko is better on the defense side. I think it's undeniable. The Jet just gives you, even just by using the Cloudburst, gives you so much more ability to take map control, even than another Initiator. So, this is an opportunity now for EDG to start that snowball. Get some ults rolling.
What's the approach for PRX on the weaker buy? Early control towards B.
EDG have 4 players here.
Yeah, just farming up and picking up the orbs. I mean, this is a real overcommitment, no?
I mean, it was right from the beginning of the round. It wasn't even based, as far as I can tell, on the ult orb being acquired.
Happy to give up the Seaside almost entirely here, just using the Cypher util to try and play for it. Uh-oh. Doors open, stun to connect. Forsaken getting in his cam in the middle of that when he was being really pressured by multiple players, but they have given up the site because of it. So, will it mean a plan? Timing through the smoke. Jing, he's cleaned up, traded. Grabbing the one, not able to get that gun back for his team. But it will mean that, again, site is theirs, plant down, nade towards the back. CGRS falling low, but not actually going down here. Dizzy exchange with the paranoia close with the dash. Bit of a team flash, nobody can't see where he's going here, yet still they have the weaponry and they sail through the treacherous waters.
Chip damage done, but nothing too much further. Any ults looking close to being online? None that are that impactful. Can't really build a game plan around the Omen ult too much. So PRX may have dodged a little bit of a bullet there in terms of big ults that you can make a game plan around. That's Jing, up towards 17 kills, a bunch in this half. And they can use that to try and take, normally used as like a burst into a C site or something of that ilk. Looking at the EDG defensive setups, they're so happy just to stack players, going for a hard read. I mean, usually the Raze ult is going to be used to try and entry into C.
They switched up the setup.
They've instantly left.
Yeah,
I mean, one flash over towards C, no audio cues. They're already looking to gamble the other side of the map.
And PRX do play like this on their attack side. A lot of 4-1 splits, heavy group up plays. Paranoia now ripped its way through. Kang caught out here, holding a close angle. Needs to try and land those shots with a rocket at his feet. They'll do enough to do the damage, and Jinx still is not content with it. Dropping down into the side, it's nobody who seeks to at least collapse and take advantage of all that chaos, but he will not do it. So no bonus round conversion for EDG. PRX able to maintain this lead, keep it going.
And already better than their attack half against Fnatic.
Yep.
Although we were expecting that to occur. It would be ridiculous to have a moment like that repeated. But that showstopper finding massive amounts of value. It just helps you create so much space on the site. Now that's not going to be available, and Kang's picking up the operator. Sneak peek, he's over a B.
He's really going to be seeking to try and take a fight out here. He can hear all that pressure towards C. He's going to be calling that out for his team. Nade sailing past.
The
Trip's also being contained.
The Guardian's like a poor man's Odin in this spot, perhaps.
Seeking to spam here, but a fight to be taken by Kang with the dash to get back. And well, he hits that, doesn't he? The harder shot to really make the most of. Forsaken was seeking to at least capitalize off of that when the aim was being adjusted. Satchel sets it up towards the side. Devi was jumping up out in the open. It's left up to 2 for PRX. EDG, great understanding of how they wanted to play this one. They barrel and swarm over that mound control, and at the back of the site, it's just up to Jing. How much can he really do? Yeah, he's popping off for his team. Granted one, not the second.
They're so mobile on the defense, aren't they? They move around like a pack. EDG have been going for gambles on one site or another, but if you do find the gap where Chishu was just holding the site with a Guardian, then everybody else comes swarming through. Kang in from B. And very quickly on the flank, everyone else. The difference in energy, palpable from the EDG side of the camp.
Do not want their tournament to end early. It's funny to say that as well with a team like EDG. All expectations against them at the beginning of Masters Tokyo, but now everybody's saying it, you know, the sky is the limit with this team. How far can they really take it? This time against PRX.
Look how deep that trip is from Chishu, purely to stop an A-lurk from coming through. So this looks like a major A retake kind of setup. Meanwhile, Kang just playing around Mound, hyper confident that he's not going to get punished here.
Look at him. I mean, the risks that he's taking.
Did he get... I think he got past the cam.
Yeah, cam is really quite deep against the wall. Oh, here we go. So many angles to watch! I shouldn't be amazed at this point, but this man, he pulls off shots like that like they are nothing. It's insane.
It really is. It's absolutely ridiculous watching this guy play. Putting up numbers like the best op you've ever seen, pick anyone, and then find their best period of history. That's what Kang's currently doing. And it's not the easy shots. It's not the consistent ones. He's hitting some outrageous flicks.
What a nasty adjustment to take out Mindfreak, and now he's left again to hold back once more this onslaught. Onto the side, round to the side. Forsaken, for some reason, being the first one in. Seekers and Dizzy in his face will push him back, but nobody seeks to plug up the gaps. There's one kill, can't claim the second. Device, good movement. Spike denied. No plant in sight. Wingman taken out and removed, and Jing does eventually punish him. The operator taken down, but time is running so damn low here with only 11 seconds remaining. The spike, it has to be planted. Has to be an attempt to try and push them back and away. 7 seconds. Spike needs to be stuck. Good satchel. Does bail him and buy them a little bit of time and space, but Chichu is already quick on the trail. Hits the flick and the adjustment. Devi just can't land the spray transfer. Not enough to survive in the middle of all of that. So EDG, they bring it to the 8th round for them. 1 step away from equalizing.
Well played. The cleanup crew was there. Smoggy and Chishu doing the work, but this guy is just putting them in advantageous positions so often with the operator.
30 seconds left. Enemy remaining.
It's unbelievable.
Who else is anywhere near him at the moment on the op? Like, the other people that are famous for their op kind of plays, we haven't even seen them use it that much in this tournament. Aspas bought an operator once. One round, Aspas opt. This guy's got it half the time.
The name that comes to mind is like Wardell, back when people didn't know how to play the game. Back when the op was stronger and people just didn't know how to play the game as well.
I mean, think about that. All the different things that Kankai has to deal with when he's opping in these kind of spots.
Yeah, the evolution of movement. People know how to jump spot now. People know how to use util. They know the common
Flashes
angles.
in your face.
Yeah.
I mean, the double faces. He was being pressured there by Flash. A Seeker dodged it, avoided it, found a timing, opens it up. It truly is ridiculous watching this guy work. And now the hurt, the squeeze is looking like it's firmly on PRX.
Yeah, they'll be getting flashbacks, won't they? To that Fnatic match.
I think you can just see it in the way that they're sat, in the way that they're, you know, the small body movements.
Yeah, the body language. This is a team, you know, PRX were all smiles, laughing, joking around, even when they were losing rounds. But now, I mean, the tension has turned up all the way.
They know they're not good at that side of the map, and that is a worm of doubt that can really cause carnage.
Economy's not too good here. Paranoia through the connector, nice and early. Being used to try and push back again this Rumble control, but there's not too much else past it. PRX were able to disrespect a lot of control. They gain Rubble. What's going to be the goal from this point on? Spam onto the orb angle. Seeker still ready, door rotating in his face. That's going to be the boom block. Flash to the back, Rocket in his hands, everything to try and delay this one. Smoggy, he's rocketed, he's stunned up. Satchel cannot escape his fate, he will fall. 4 versus 4, now we see it being slowed down.
This tree door is on permanent rotate.
Yeah, Satchel there to try and push back. Gun is claimed. Jing,
he couldn't get out.
Yeah, I don't know what occurred there. Maybe pushed back into position by the door, but he ends up falling.
He got stuck in the rotating door like a child at a hotel. Just going round and round.
But now PRX take the awkward timing. Looking their way back in here. It's Forsaken. He's found his timing. He's found his mark. Chichu falling over the top. It's up to Kankang to respond and respond. He does mosh pit. Oh my goodness. Jumping to narrowly avoid the damage here. Enough done though. It's up to these few. Wingman dropped down with a spike in his hand, doubled up. It's all up to Kankang, yet still, again, cannot hit it with the spacing in mind. Oh my, narrowly avoiding another collateral, potentially one of many, but PRX, with that half by Josh, they keep their 2-round lead.
That's such an unusual round. Everybody's so grouped up in this tree area, and yet brute force powered through with Mind Freak just a tad away from his partner there. Perfect spacing to deal with the operator. Instantly on the angle. That keeps PRX's narrow lead.
They needed it, considering the amount of rounds they've been able to pick up on their attack side. Not like that to get it on the board. Here's some presence though. Kankang with the operator. Down towards A. Heavy collection of players of EDG. Trailblazer gets some of that information towards it. Dizzy now to reclaim over towards C. Chichu with a camp setup. Common enough position. Here's a nade on the back. Camp not spotted. Man seeking to go for the plant while all this is happening. Chichu pushing forwards. Denies, and Kankang out the one side. Dash to disengage. Only the 1 kill. 4 versus 4. Still a minute left in the round, whereas the spike drop down to the floor. Devi is out of there.
Yeah, he's pieced it.
Now even with the Omen ult, seeking to reposition. They've taken the front section of A. Deep lurk by Forsaken as well, so it's that mad dash all the way over.
CGRS is getting exposed by this ultimate on the other side of the map.
Very good ultimate.
Does EDG go for a fast retake here? They don't really have great utility for it.
I mean, this feels so uncertain on either side. Like, tepid is the approach. They don't know if they've already rotated here, but there's 24 seconds left, and players have rotated. The collection of them, of EDG, now seeking to retake from the backside of the site. Seeker's online, though, with that plant. That's going to give a bit of space, information as well. Kankang fires off the shot, and Halong was just out of position. The random spray of bullets brings Kankang down to just 22 health. He has smokes to try and reposition, doesn't take it. He misses the shot, and Devi with the transfer. Chichu aiming to make the most, but he's brought down on top of it. It's 11-8, PRX. They seem to have got momentum back behind them.
They've broken that pattern that we saw in this half, and they've found ways of being able to pivot away. The C hit did not look like it was going to work. So a very heads-up decision from Divine and Mindfreak to pivot that one out and go and join Forsaken. Incredible fragging in this round from Divine.
That one set him up for the third, man.
Yeah, that one almost gifted to him, but Divine has woken up at the most important time, you could argue, for PRX on this run. He's had a good performance, but in Pacific, he was monstrous.
Oh, he looked like the best player on the team, in my opinion.
And if you get rounds like that, where he looks like the best player, he's going to be able to carry PRX over the line. EDG need to dig deep.
That's what this timeout is for. Doesn't get more tenuous than this, does it? 8-11. Scoreline rapidly getting away from you if you are EDG. Your last chance. This run is already special from Edward Gaming. I think they'll reflect on this tournament no matter what happens here and now, being quite proud of what they've achieved. But in the here and now, the only thing on their mind is trying to drag it back and win. Here. But PRX fighting for survival. Any sort of lifeline that they can buy for something to get back in, to get the full roster strength online. Heading deeper and deeper into Masters Tokyo. Every single match matters.
And EDG are forced to save.
It's a brutal one.
What a difficult decision to make, knowing that PRX are going to be allowed to get up to 12 here in all likelihood.
It comes down to this, a player stack. Up to Tree, door rotates, Kang, he's got the dash active, wants to try and take the fight to them, but they've all fallen. On either side of the door, the sightlines were set up. PRX now seeking to lay claim to the site. Have been met with a decent stack of players, yet still the shots are landing. Any attempt to make something of the chaos is just met with players falling. No damage done to the economy. PRX, they hit that 12-round mark. Josh, you know what that means. It's match point, series point in our elimination game here of Masters Tokyo.
Of course, no weaponry available, but now EDG need to win 4 in a row in order to get to overtime and save themselves from these constant map 3 issues that they've been having. Backs against the wall, do they have it in them? It feels like when the pressure's on, this is sometimes where EDG play their best, and a lot of it comes down to this man.
All eyes on Kang, already double satchel in his face! Jing removes him. What do you do when a star player is shut down in that kind of fashion?
And you see the reaction from him there on the player cam. The sudden gutting feeling that he's let it all slip away. Forced to just sit in silence as PRX also cut the noise.
Baiting it out, some sort of response from EDG. That being tightened.
Jets grounded.
Space gain towards A here. Still with the passive cam set up a trip as well, but it's a fast flank from EDG around the side. It's 3 players. Going to be rapid on the approach. The site's going to be given up. Chichu has to make something of this. Does he choose to take a timing?
How could he? With the thrash in his face, almost impossible.
Doesn't want to swing into this, but this fight at Rubble, it's so damn important. Flash exchange still close to the angle, close to the corner. Forsaken is there. They lay it down and strike back with Smokey there still. Chichu, last one left. He forces it to the 1v1. This is for the map and the series to stay in it. The Pride of Pacific. It's CJRS, the sub player. A battle for survival. Chichu getting info, spotting out where he is, but he does not know where CJRS is. And it's just mere moments away. The aim cannot be adjusted. PRX survive.
And CJRS could do it. Winning a 1v1 to send EDG home. What a moment for him. And what a moment for the whole team. To be able to rebound after that devastating loss on that half to Fnatic and come in and take down Edward Gaming here. A clash of the W Gaming squads where PRX keep their dreams alive. Devastation for Kankan there. But as you said earlier, Brent, I think they can reflect very happily on this run. Once the disappointment wears off. I mean, there were 4 teams at Tokyo that came in here, having previously lifted a global trophy before, and EDG sent 2 of them home. So that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's an incredible spot to be in. for a team that prior to Masters Tokyo had never even won a match at a global event. They overcame severe mental hurdles. But my God, this PRX squad just won't quit.
Yeah, you want another crazy storyline. This is a PRX squad that's had to shift the roles around, practices all over the place. They're playing with CGRS with very minimal pro player experience, Josh. I mean, the man is a Gecko one trick.
And they've been having to put Gecko into all their comps.
Absolutely, they've been having to brute force it, yet still they're making it work.
That massive credit to the way that this team has been structured. With all of those small set plays between them, the addition of CGRS hasn't disrupted one major, structured, stiff game plan. They're flexible enough to be able to work around it.
Now they are the pride of Pacific, the last chance to earn that extra slot at Champions.
And I don't mean this in any way to be disrespectful to CGRS, but I would love at some point if we could see them play at full strength with something here at Tokyo.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just giving me vibes of that FBX Na'Vi core back when they won Masters Copenhagen.
Oh yeah.
And they had a sub that kind of bought time for Sugetsu to come in. They ended up winning it all, beating PRX in the finals. I feel like if this team, if PRX is able to do this, they've only really been bullied by one squad the whole time that they've been here. If they're able to put up these kind of performances without their star player, what could they be capable of?
What could they be capable of with something in? I'd love to see it, and they do fight.
Nice!
Good to see another day here at Masters Tokyo with this win over EDG. It's heartbreak seeing the Chinese team go home, but EDG will be walking back, I think, with some confidence levels, you know, built up the experience at that international level. But PRX, the stars today here, the final moments, you can feel it, passion, riding a wave of it to the finish line.
He throws his headphones down like a mic drop.
Absolutely insane stuff, of course.
What a
This
place to
tournament,
be in.
yeah, it's been living up to so many heavy expectations. That's going to do it for the series of the day. We're not done with the coverage just yet. Let's send it down to the floor for our Verizon post-match interview.
なんか忘れたっぽい。
さあそれでは見事勝利を収めましたPRXはジン選手にお越しいただきました。ジン選手、改めましてこのハードな戦いではありました。今試合を終えて感想伺っていいですか。
It's such a hard battle against EDG. Please tell us your feeling right now.
I think I feel really relieved because like the second game I felt like we played really bad, so I kind of felt a little bit of pressure because it's like third map and anything could happen, so very relieved that we won.
今はとても安心しています。第2マップを取られてしまったことでプレッシャーを感じながらの第3マップでした。なのでそこを取れて勝ち切ることができて嬉しいです。
ありがとうございます。さあ特にロータスではもう本当にエドワードゲーミングのこうやりたいことをさせない自分たちの戦い方、守りでも攻めでもですけども、そんな試合が見れたようにも思うんですけど、何か意識していたことはありますか？
Yeah, you said you're under pressure for the map 3, but you stopped what they did and you actually did great job on attacking and defending side. And how did you like the match today?
I think today's match was a really good and close match. Like I think EDG has improved a lot since the last time we played them, so like the game was really close. So props to EDG because I feel like they played really well and they put China like on the stage. Like everyone like knows that they are capable of playing well.
本当に接戦でどちらが勝つかわからない展開だったんですけれども、自分たちが勝てました。しかしエドワードゲーミング大変素晴らしいチームで、中国が世界レベルで戦える強いチームであるということをここで見せてくれたと思います。
ありがとうございます。相手にもリスペクトというところですね。その中で非常にね熱い打ち合いだったと思うんですけど、エドワードゲーミングもね打ち合いの強いチームだったと思うんですけど、それを超えるジン選手がもうどんどんアグレッシブにパワフルに攻めていったと思うんですけど、相手のは負けないぞって気持ちで戦ってたんですかね。
Yeah, but you know, EDG was such an aggressive shooting team, but you shooted way aggressive than them. And were you confident coming into this match, or did you feel you have to win this one?
I don't really think like we have to win it, but of course we would like to win it. And wait, sorry, what's the question again?
So, what was your intention becoming fighting against them?
What's my intention?
Coming into this match.
I mean, we didn't have much like expectations because, of course, we are playing with like a sub player and we only have 10 days of practice. But I know that we are capable of beating them. But of course, I feel like it's a really like 50-50 game. So very happy to win.
そうですね、アグレッシブに打ち合ってみたんですけれども、自分たちこの試合に向けては50-50だなというような思いで来ました。勝っても負けてもおかしくない相手だと思いましたので、ここで勝って自分たちが上を行くことができたのはすごく嬉しいです。
ありがとうございます。さあそして、今回ね EMEA 中国、いろんなチームと戦ってきましたが、次 NRG です。どんな印象ありますか？
Your next opponent is NRG. Please tell your thoughts on their team.
I'm really excited to play NRG. The last time we played them was in Copenhagen, and that time they were Optic, and I feel like they're a really good team because they have a really good color FNS, so very excited to play them.
前回コペンハーゲンでまだオプティック時代に対戦したんですけれども、その当時から強く、フナス選手ですとか大変強い選手がいっぱいいますので、対戦すごく楽しみです。
ありがとうございます。はい、再び再戦というところですね。さあそして、応援してくれたたくさんのファンがいます。メッセージをいただいてよろしいでしょうか。
So there are so many people stayed all the way through to see a match here, and please give them a message.
I would like to thank all the fans for watching us and supporting us. Without you guys, we won't be here. And thank you everyone for listening to this interview as well. Hope you guys enjoyed our match against EDG.
いつも応援してくれて、そして試合を見てくれている皆さんありがとうございます。皆さんの応援がなければ私たちはここにはいませんし、これからも戦い続けるためにも応援をよろしくお願いします。次の試合も頑張ります。
ありがとうございます。改めましてペーパーレックスからジン選手でした。
What a lovely interview. I gotta say to you as well, Jing, thank you for delivering a great match for us. We all enjoyed it here, and I'm sure that Paperthin also wants to give a thank to your boys, PRX as well, yeah?
Yes, of course, BCT Pacific fans, we're all very, very happy with this win, but I'm very, very happy for a very particular reason.
Yeah.
I know now whose fault it is.
It's not your fault.
It's not mine.
We will never say that about you again, but Kukuka, the thing is, as you heard from that interview and from, I feel like, some of the reactions when PRX won, it was kind of a feeling of relief that they managed to do it, as opposed to kind of the ecstasy they would normally feel.
I think that tells us and gives us a little bit more context into what happened yesterday. Of course, it's sad to let go of EDG, but I think that PRX it's like overcoming all the stones in the way, and just little by little we can see the progress of this team. It doesn't matter that much that something is not here.
Yeah, I can't believe the world we would be living in if something was here, because they're playing like this without him, Paperthin, which is kind of crazy.
It is absolutely insane. I mean, if and when something is able to come back, you're going to see a completely different version of this team. Now, that being said, we have to give a ton of credit to CGRS. The way he's playing here, just essentially a streamer sub. Let's just be honest about this. He wasn't really meant to be seriously a substitute player for this team, but they needed to call up upon him. I mean, it's like bringing in, Tarek or Shroud onto your team.
I mean, I think what he lacks in...
I'd be down.
Yeah, I think what he lacks in the, physical Valorant experience, he brings in other competitive experience. He has been around for a long time. He doesn't seem like the player that gets nervous. We talked about the fact he IGLs as well. Kukuka, which seems like a great addition to PRX.
And it's not only that. You see him as a player and he's never quiet. He's never second guessing. He's just going with the flow and actually mixing up very well with the rest of the team.
Yeah, he does indeed. And also, look at the fans here as well. They've come I mean, I know something is really, really, really well loved here in Japan because of his experience here, but PRX in general here as well, Paperthin, PRX, oh my god, I've just put the two together. But sorry, I mean the fans, they love them here. I think they want them to go far as well. So I'm glad that they're kind of showing and being able to bounce back, most importantly, after getting smashed by
Certainly.
fans.
I mean, I think the cool thing about PRX is everywhere they go, they have fans. Like, they're such a likable team. They're such a cool, down-to-earth group of guys guys. You know, you can tell in these interviews with like Jing and Forsaken, they're just very kind of chill. Like something's the same way. Divide probably is the one who's the most kind of energetic, and that's not really saying much. He's, you know, they're all very low-key, nice guys, and yeah, I mean, to have the fans here supporting them, I mean, the fans were supporting both teams. Like in here, it was loud anytime anything awesome happened, but certainly these guys, you know, are going to have support no matter where they go because of how they play, how differently they play than anyone else.
And we're just looking at some Jing, you know, usual highlights that we can have of him after every single game. I think that especially on this second half, when his team needed him the most, he showed up constantly, time after time, getting the openers, getting some crazy flicks, and giving us the best contact and the one that we deserve.
I mean, who wouldn't be a fan of this team when they're doing things like this? And it's just almost poetic that they are the ones that knocked out EDG, the one that people constantly compared to, and we do have to say goodbye to EDG. I feel so emotional about this. You know, they had such a great run for Kuka. They just wanted one win coming into this tournament, and they made it so far.
I feel like we've had, let's say, a couple of disappointments, maybe teams that we honestly just expected them to perform a little better, or the expectation was higher. Navi, Loud, you know, along those lines. But for EDG, I feel like most people were like, you know, it's just another team. Maybe they get a win, maybe they don't. I think that the fact that they exceeded so much the expectations, they can leave this stage, this venue with their heads very high.
It's a stepping stone for them in their region, right? Just like, you know, maybe, you know, Zeta was a stepping stone for Japan. These guys now are setting the precedent that these players can play, and there is high expectations now for them going into the future. So I'm really excited about them. Of course, I don't want to say goodbye to Kong Kong and company.
Oh gosh, we never got Kong Kong versus Durka.
Yeah, can we keep him? Like,
I know that.
Can he
I'm
sub?
so sad.
Like a show match or something.
I like the point that you made, because I've seen the way that they've been popping up on Weibo, Bilibili, and so on. The fans in China, they are loving not just EDG, but this tournament in general, which is great to see. But before we close everything out, let's take a look at the HyperX reflex moment of the day. This one goes to my man Divide. We spoke about how he enabled some of the other guys, but I mean, look at this.
Yeah,
he can do it himself.
Yeah, exactly. I think that especially today, he had a brilliant performance. We saw most of the players in PRX, just because of his compositions that they play, actually played a different agent on each map. The fact that Divide was able to keep up his performance time after time, supporting, being a sentinel, being a strongholder, says a lot about him as a player.
The whole team's insane. I mean, a step up from everybody today for PRX. So it's just thrilling to watch this. It's CGRS. The way he played on Lotus was brilliant.
Yeah, well, the good news is, if you guys take a look at the bracket, PRX will be in action again tomorrow. They're going to be in that lower bracket facing NRG. But first, though, holy moly, guys, we're going to get Fnatic versus EG.
I think that is something that is going to happen tomorrow, and something tells me in the grand final as well, because I feel everybody has been, since this tournament started, and especially after EG's run, this is the one match that everybody is expecting and is most anticipated, and I feel like just one best of 3, it's not going to do it. It's not going to be enough.
You want a best of 5?
Yes.
I feel you. What about you?
Minimum.
Same. No, I completely
I want a best of
That's
7.
Exactly how I feel. And I don't know what to expect now with PRX NRG tomorrow. I mean, I have no idea, because PRX, I did not even think they had a chance in heck. I'm going to be perfectly honest against EDG today. EDG looked too good. This PRX team, you never know.
Well, luckily you don't have to wait long, Paper Thin. Around 24 hours, we'll find out by this time tomorrow. Thank you everyone at home for sticking with us today and for watching. We're going to be back tomorrow for those 2 massive matchups between Fnatic and EG, and then followed by NRG versus PRX. But before you guys go, make sure to check out these Prime Gaming post-day highlights, and we'll see you tomorrow. Massive juggernauts of Valorant on stage, the #1 seed out of EMEA, and the legacy of NRG, the team that would not just roll over and get eliminated like this.
Trailblazer in, catches Yappy up front. Soulcast there for a bit of covering fire, and he's gonna find 3. What a final shot on the Crashies.
Wow, he's very cool and collected. Wow.
Nice job, Tommy.
Multiple people though looking to spray him out. Gets that! And Nets cuts them down! A 4K in the blink of an eye! And both just tucked into the same corner. A 3-man approach from Link, however, it's into the meat grinder. Finesse finding a 3rd! And he has no idea where he's at! Crashy stays quiet, gets the kill confirmed, and Energy will take the map 14-12. This time coming across, Som gets the instant headshot there. Steve gonna be taken down, but Soulcast finds 2. TP gonna be used, and a bit of a bait there, perhaps. They're looking for a high-low double stack, but he's able to isolate it! And Soulcast will save the round. They will not go quietly into the night. They will take us to a third and final map. You're Liquid to try to push your way back into this site. Flash is not available. Now it's just going to be dead. Victor completely shuts down the screen's approach. The confirmation, but either way, the spike is going to be dropped and it's going to be walled off. Some having a breakthrough, and Soulcast finds a third. Now looking for the fourth, and he has it. Tensions being pulled from either side. He doesn't know which way to look, and now he's got to look over towards heaven as Soulcast gets taken out. Low HP bars on the side of NRG, but it is not low enough. They cannot find anything, and they will be sending Team Liquid home. NRG will stick alongside EG as the second representative here from America, still in the tournament, and the #1 seed from EMEA will be taking an early trip back, leaving Fnatic all on their lonesome to represent the region.
EDG have already defied expectations. They've taken down Na'Vi, they've taken down T1, they've even taken down Lao, but standing in their way is the #1 seed of Pacifics, PRX. But I can't help but feel, this time around, are EDG the favorites?
Mindfreak is left alone in a 1v2, spots it out, they lined up for him! Woo! On top of the ropes, well, no kill found. Chichu's running and gunning man, fully accurate. Why not? Trying to push them and punish them out of tower, but it's that 1-2 punch, that 1-2 combo. EDG taking a wide face as well into this. Forsaken seeking as well to do some damage. Orbital strike, lay it on top to force the fights out into the open. Misses to the side, it's run and gun in action, up close, dash to disengage. Spike has been dropped, flash in his face. Kankan could not dodge it in time, so the trap play right up to the top, but again, yeah, not set up for it. So Jing walks away with 4.
PRX just ran that back 7 rounds in a row, and then sweeping overtime.
When you and I spoke earlier, you said your main focus was to make sure that you don't do anything that looked like what you saw yesterday. What was the biggest difference between yesterday and this first map?
Honestly, I think the first half was quite terrible for us. I can't believe we came away with that. I think they just figured it out halfway through. You know, we as a team we kind of figured out halfway through what to do, and then we managed to push them back. And I don't know, I thought it was an amazing game. Very fortunate, I think, that we didn't let it run away from us.
I mean, it was a ferocious comeback, 8 rounds in a row, and then winning OT. Congratulations on one. Best of luck to you, map 2. Back to you guys.
Here's an updraft. Now finally the dash.
Does he check Jing?
He's super boosted up in the air, man. Smoggy close though, and he's handed over a gun, I believe. Spray transfers, TGRS pulling out miracles for them, and he's dragged it even 6-6. This guy trying to leap right onto him. Ults offloaded, rocket to the side, body splattered against the wall. They found the footing. The confidence is back in spades. Up close again, it's being traded out still, it's all up to nobody, and he's been swung right into. Beats it, yep, that is sublime. 13-9 will be that scoreline. EDG bringing it all the way to map #3. A lot to do here, but not anticipating that angle was already gained, and it's Mindfreak from the high position. Give it a bit of space, and still need to find a few more of these kills. It's all over the place. Spray transfer, Judge in his face. Jing is brought down. Wingman dropped down with a spike in his hand, doubled up. It's all up to Kankan, yet still, again, cannot hit it with the spacing in mind. Oh my, PRX survived.
And what a moment for the whole team. To be able to rebound after that devastating loss on that half to Fnatic, and come in and take down Edward Gaming here. PRX keep their dreams alive.